So I'm being forced to make a little YouTube video about what's going on, just so the truth's out there, and somebody can't continue to lie and use people. So Jessica Reeves keeps on threatening me after months and months of telling me to get out of her house. And over the whole time period we've been here, it should be known that, the rules that were set by our landlord were held up by me in respect, in gratitude for his help. But Jessica, on the other hand, and her daughter Megan, for some reason decided to break his rules as soon as we got in here and as soon as he set them. And they both know this, and it's something I haven't said anything about because, it would just, I don't know, it's been real hard not to say anything, but Jessica's led me to believe that, she's meant well, and it wasn't what it seems, but the truth is that, Monty wasn't supposed to be here, but they continued to, time and time again, right after the rule was set, to let him come over here and stay here and take things from here and come and go as he pleased until I said something. I blew up on him and told him why he couldn't be here in the rules, and he left, and they all teamed up on me and pretty much made me out to be the bad guy, and then continued to let him come over. And then even after that, during the time when Megan was staying out there in Castle at her grandparents' before she got kicked out for being involved with him, she immediately went back to him and has been going back to him because Jessica gave her our car and she drives to Quincy all the time now. And I don't really get it because Jackson's at her grandparents' and the main thing she should be doing is trying to get him back and handle things right, but that's not the case. It's kind of almost like, it's just they got somebody to take care of the kid, and now she's, free to go down to Quincy and hang out with Monty and drive around as she pleases, and they can just do whatever they want and be young, and not have to worry about Jackson out there being taken care of. This is all the truth. The truth. And even Jessica, I don't see how I'm screwing up so bad in all this when I offered to pay rent, back, water bill, power bill, everything, but she didn't want to accept it at the time. She wanted to go about it this road and create drama so it could make it look like she was right in doing the right thing in the sense of everything, because we were ties to her mom, and her mom being married to Bernie. And same with Megan. I have fines to pay that I've been trying to pay for 6-7 years now. Here I am, the first thing I said I was going to do was try to pay these fines, get a driver's license back so I can get a job, the right way and everything, and get a vehicle and be responsible for things and try to help, more. And she will not let that happen. She does not want that to happen. She refuses to go to Reading with me, just to go down and back. She won't do it. All she's done is try to get me to pay for every last little thing that she can get me for, and including spending small amounts of money just so she can, it's just about money. It's just about money. It's not about respect to Bernie or his rules or taking care of things or anything like that. It's just, just threats and threats and threats and threats, when all I said I wanted to do was pay my fines at first, But even then, as soon as, when I leave, if I leave for a day or more, they have Monty down here, he comes over here. He has been for a long time. And Megan's been lying to Bernie and Cindy from the very get-go. And I even called Cindy and told her that I was freaking out because we were going to get kicked out because they were having Monty over, and it just, it was their rules I was trying to respect. And it didn't matter, and she's just continued to lie and build me up to be this bad person to her parents, which in reality that's exactly the opposite. When I called Cindy and told her that Monty had been coming over here, I did it on a last whim because everything I was trying wasn't working to hold our place and make sure we didn't get kicked out. And they still, everybody went behind my back and just made me out to be the bad guy. When I tried to paint this house, I offered to paint this house in place of rent or gratitude towards what Bernie did for Tom. Absolutely not. Cindy and Jessica told me over the phone, both of them, said, go ahead, go down to the hardware store, get everything you need to get. It's totally fine. Bernie's cool with it. So I went down and I spent $200 on paint and supplies and started to paint the house. And the next thing you know, like, Bernie came over and he said something like he'd never heard anything about it. He didn't know about it, and the only people he wanted to go and doing that were Cindy or Jessica, and not to do that anymore, which really bugged me. And I still, even at that point, I didn't say, Jess and Cindy told me I could go do this. I just said no, okay, no worries, no excuses. And that's what's been going on with a lot of situations here and everything, is I haven't said anything because I just, I don't want the fighting and stuff, but it's been fed off of, and because I haven't said anything or done anything in the beginning, things continue to just keep build up and up against me, and they just keep taking advantage of me that way. Thinking, oh, we know he won't say nothing, like that. But the truth of all of it is that I've held down every single rule that was set by Bernie, and I respected it, and I still respect him and him. And there's a lot that isn't being said at all, or things that are being twisted up or turned into situations for other people's personal benefit, of just simply like looking like they're taking care of things when in reality they're the ones who are actually like screwing up the biggest and doing exactly what they're not supposed to do, and just simply blaming it on someone who is in a low spot right now. And as soon as I came out of that low spot, I was, just threatened more and more. We don't even have a bedroom. Our bedroom was given up to Megan so she could come after going down to Quincy or wherever she goes, with the car, for free, after losing Jackson, and just come here and go see Monty, and then just come and show up here and just like take long showers, clog up the drains, run the bill, and then sit, just take over the bedroom, and so me and Buddy been sleeping in the backyard in a tent, for a while now. And that's another thing that got blamed on me. I don't see how that's my fault when I'm, like, just, what do you expect me to do? Like, all I can do is bitch and complain about it, and it's to nobody, because it's just me and Jessica here in these situations, and she knows that. There's nobody else here to see what actually goes on and knows, and then it's her family out there, as far as Megan and her mom, who take what she says for her benefit and, try to have her back so they all have a relationship, or that's just what they do. I don't understand it. Tom wasn't like that. And speaking of that, I was the only person to stick it out and stay through all of that and never asked $1. I tried to give money back to Tom. I did give money back to Tom. In every place we've had, I've worked and I've held up my end. I have no problem with that. Same as I have no problem with being absolutely and completely honest, which the other party has a big, big problem with that. Not to mention our animals and how poor they're taken care of by her, and the responsibility falls on me, which I take very seriously, and I take care of them like they should be taken care of and worry about everything they should be be worried about animals. On the other hand, the other party needs to be forced into doing things like caring about them in the smallest way, taking them to the vet, seeing about getting shots, immunizations, whatever you want to say, or even taking them walks. The dog that she has now is just used when she wants it there. The dogs are miserable. Miserable all the time, every day, dude, and it doesn't bug anybody but me. They're fed like crap unless I'm feeding them, which I'm the only one that feeds them and tries to keep them on a schedule, which should be very important. It is to me. I don't see why it would be not important to anybody else. If you get a pet, that's your responsibility. And on top of it, all the housework, yard work, side projects, dump, things that get fixed around here other than Bernie getting called over to taking care of them. These aren't his problems. These are things that these girls, they slack on and they just don't care about, and they let them just get blown out. They don't take care of them when they should be, the way they should be taken care of, which I've said time and time again. But I just get blown off, and look, I just get talked down on and shot off like, I don't have nothing, so nothing I say matters or is right, and they don't have to listen to me at all, because I'm not the one, who's in authority over all this as far as the house goes. But the facts are is that I've offered help with anything I could in every way, and even when money came about, however I could in any way, and I was blown off. Nobody wanted to say anything. She just go in there and keep doing this stuff where every night come out and yell at me and create a big fight to get nowhere about stuff that, I have no problem paying for things when I'm able to. My fines, there's nothing wrong with those being the most important thing for me to take care of as soon as I can, possibly. It should also be the focus of Jessica, too, being in a relationship with me and us supposedly supposed to be even on things, which I laid out a whole plan of how we could both take care of each things equally, which I believe Megan should pay a third because she stays here too. And she don't want to talk about it, listen, do anything about it except for go about it her way, which is waiting till the last minute and using me to make sure that she doesn't get blamed for anything, and trying to put every dollar that she can of mine into every dollar of hers that she has not spent or went about the right way as far as the bills or taking care of her fines or anything else. Like, absolutely all 100% true. They continue to still have ties with Monty and still not care about anything else, which Jackson should be the main focus. If they're not screwing up, then why are they in the position they are with Bernie? And Cindy, I don't know if she knows, and doesn't care, or is trying to just be her daughter's friend, but whatever it is, there's a lot she doesn't know either. And I'm getting blamed for it that is absolutely not true, false, and it's just because it's just me here. I've been asking to sit down and talk with Bernie for a long time now to try to get this stuff straight before it went to a boiling point and got really bad in a lot of situations, and those situations keep happening. And they still refuse to let that man and me talk because they're afraid that all of a sudden, I'll have had enough and I will say everything that I've been meaning to say, which needs to be damn heard, because I'm not a liar. I'm just pigeonholed in a spot right now because I live here too. I appreciate the place. I like the place. If I had it up to me, I would take over the rent. I would handle the rent and the bills all myself. But I refuse to pay for bills that have to do with, Megan staying here and taking our bedroom and throwing away all our good food in the fridge and coming and going as she and taking our vehicle and not doing anything after I left my original place here. I had an apartment that we were halves on, that we were okay on, but we left. I left all that with remaining bills from the place, a remaining power bill that Jessica doesn't try to help with at all. I had to put the power bill in my name because she was so far back on her last PG&E bill in our last place. I painted the apartments we lived at to lower our rent. I've always put in my half, even without an ID or any means of being able to do it by a normal job. I've done to make sure we stay afloat. I left that place, I left my home to move to Oklahoma for Jessica and her grandson and daughter. And then from there, we were supposed to come back here, and again, because Jessica and Megan's decisions, we were forced to leave on bad terms. We left our place again, and then it was to go to New Mexico to help out with situations down there, which I was happy to do. But again, when I was down there, I worked and I gave money back. I never lived off anybody. I did what I said I was going to do every time. And every place we've lived in, Jessica's been the reason we've been kicked out or let go or sent away. And then it's just, she needs my help. She's my girl. I stay with her. We go to the next place, even if it's a place we're not supposed to go. And I had already lined up a place for us to go around more legitimate people with more promising situations of making money and being straight and legit and closer to getting our own place. Every time we've gotten kicked out, and last words have been, get her out of here. I've packed up all of her stuff and moved probably 7 times now. I do not have that much stuff. Jessica, on the other hand, has had a house full. Just like Bernie, dude, I went out of my way and just simply cared without like any kind of like expectation of compensation, and moved the entire house in and out without a problem, and put all the backbreaking work into, and time and care, simply that. On the other hand, as far as Jessica goes, none of that's happened in return at all. In return, all it's been is just simple rumors of absolute false statements towards her mom that get turned and directed towards Bernie, and now everybody has this thought that I'm such this bad guy and I'm the cause of everything. But in reality, the absolute truth is that I'm the person at the very bottom struggling to try to keep best decisions made to respect this house and not get kicked out of every other place like we have in the past because of Jessica and Megan's decisions. This is why they do not have Jackson right now. It's absolutely ridiculous to me that the great-grandparents out there, Bernie and Cindy, are taking care of Jackson when neither Megan, Monty, or Jessica is really doing anything to try to get him back in here or better the situation for themselves or Jackson. The focus right now is me for some reason and the little bit of help that I have, and to get me to take care of all their things that they've slacked on and given up on. There's no reason with the rent at the rate it's at, for the amount she gets a month, for it to be back that behind. Same with the water bill. This is all things that I complained about and ragged and nagged about the entire time, but nobody knows that. There's much, much more, and I'm just making this video for records, that maybe, eventually it might have to be shown to the right person or Bernie, but Bernie, you need to know that, like, I've respected you and your rules the whole time through and through, and I still do, and the information that's coming to you and how things are happening are completely false. There's a lot of lies here, and it's not my direct family, so it's hard to really step in and put my foot down on stuff. But if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. Even if it means me having to leave here, but you need to know that I've always respected your rules, and I do appreciate everything that you've done for us. And I've been trying to, like, show that to you and talk to you and tell you, but it's so hard with what's in between. But everything that I've said in this, I can validate in truth, and if need be, I will. And because I'm being threatened right now with me and my animal, with our place to live, and it's just getting to a point, like, I don't even have Bernie's number to contact him, and they made sure of that. But that's that. Okay, thank you.